Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Stranger Things. This episode 2, season 4. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the first episode. Like I said in the last one, if you're new here, the full episodes are free in the description. Just click the link, put the password in. You can enjoy the full 90-minute episodes now. They're crazy long with me, the full entirety thing for free, so just check that in the description. Now, last episode was interesting. You know, we're seeing 11, she's still struggling to kind of adapt to being normal. We did see last season she was struggling with her powers at the very end. She tried to move a teddy on the top of her wardrobe, and that didn't work. And then we see in today's episode she was doing a show and tell at school, and she was doing a presentation. It was supposed to be on historical figures that people look up to, and that it's kind of their heroes, and she done it about her dad. Now obviously people in the class was laughing at them, saying that how's he he's supposed to be on a historical person, he's definitely not one. She was saying, well, he's a hero to me, he saved so many lives, and obviously he's passed away, and she's devastated with that. There's a glimmer of hope that for us that he's still alive. We did have the American mentioned in the episode by the Russians, and then obviously we see Winona Ryder, Will's mummy. She got a package from the Russians. It had a doll inside of it. She broke it, and there was a letter inside that was saying he's alive. So it's going to be exciting to see him and everybody's reactions when he returns. But like I said, she's in school, she's done a show and tell. People was laughing at her because obviously it wasn't perfectly fitting the scenario that it was supposed to do. She got tripped up, then he went and stood all over it and damaged it. She was in the middle of the school, she had to do her powers, and she was screaming, and obviously she looked crazy. Let's be honest, she did look crazy. But what would look more crazy? Doing the powers inside of school, or just standing there screaming with your hands there? So obviously it wasn't successful for her. She was absolutely devastated. She's just having a tough time, but it's nearly spring break. It's nearly time for obviously Mike to come, and then hopefully she can pick up her happy vibes going obviously into that. But what's interesting about Mike and Dustin is they're part of a D&D team, and so is Lucas. But on the same night as the high school championship basketball game, which Lucas was part of the team, they decided to go to D&D without him. They recruited a new a new girl in there, and one of their leaders in D&D, Eddie, he kind of sells drugs on the side, and it was a cheerleader called Chrissy. She was having visions, kind of how we see Will have it quite a few of the times, where they kind of jumping into the upside down and seeing all these crazy stuff. And obviously she went to this Eddie, this Chrissy, and she was asking, has he got any drugs? And obviously he's got weed, he's going to sell it to her on a cheap. Then she's like, have you got any more of the hardcore stuff? So he's like, yeah, sure, come back to my house. So she's gone back to his house with him. Max is living across the street. She's seen them go in. While they're in there, he's looking for the stuff. He's found it. But as he's come back, she stood there. Her eyes are flickering all over. She heard the grandfather clock ticking all over. She's gone into kind of the upside down. She's seen some scary demon that's walking towards her. Her mum's dead in this. Looks like it anyway, mate. Her dad looks like he's dying as well. And she gets pinned up against the wall. Her head kind of gets squoze. In real life, she starts levitating in front of this head there. He don't know what to do. She gets hit on the ceiling, dragged around, all the body's snapping, and then her eyes pop, and the episode ends. And it's what the hell, mate? What a crazy ending to the first episode. That's got me excited to jump into this one. So hopefully you guys are excited for it too. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into episode 2 of season 4 of Stranger Things. Getting his perspective of it, well, good. Oh, so does he stay in that same location then? He didn't actually go anywhere. You love to see it, mate. You absolutely love to see it. So it is confirmed that he is alive, and I like how he actually got his perspective of that situation. It makes sense now that he's kind of locked up with the Russians. That's a mad way to take your tablets.
Where is she? I just found her there.
So Eddie's got off then, it looks like, because obviously his dad's not set out.
Holy mother of God.
Hey! You can't be out here. Get back inside.
We caught a body over here at the Munson's trailer. I don't even know how to describe it. I need you down here ASAP to tell me what the hell I'm looking at.
Look at him excited. Look at his vibe.
Much yellow. I know you also like purple, so I got some purple as well. So...
Perfect, thank you.
Hey!
Oh, do you reckon that he didn't have a kiss? Or say love from Mike?
That's a rad shirt, man. Ocean Pacific?
Oh, hey, Mike, this is my friend Argyle.
Oh.
He's going straight out.
Where to? 4819 Lonzo Way.
And then Vicky laughed. And it wasn't like a cheap fake laugh either. It was a real, genuine laugh.
She's pretty cute though. I like how she's proper nervous.
Combine. I know exactly what I want. And I found the girl of my dreams, but I just can't get the courage to ask her out.
These would be a good couple, but obviously she's
No,
not.
I don't do double VHS.
But it's about doomed love.
Oh, well, that's relatable.
Precisely.
The body of a Hawkins High student was discovered early this morning. Police have not yet released the victim's name, although...
You all right in there, Sinclair? First hangover feels like you're gonna split in two.
Remember TVs, how thick they used to be? Honestly, they were so heavy.
Thought we were watching Thundercats.
Hawkins student got murdered.
Hey, maybe Chrissy didn't stand you up after all.
It was Chrissy.
Don't say that.
Ever since that girl Barb died a few years ago, you start to believe all those things they say, that this town is cursed.
Just before we go into that, mate, you see Lucas, his first hangover, he's absolutely being sick all over in the toilet. Now, what is the worst memory or something that you've had, like, being sick somewhere? Do you know, like, after being drunk? Like, I remember me, mate, coming out, like, a Christmas party, and I was, like, walking through the middle of town, and I was just literally just, like, walking and being sick at the same time. I felt like a fire hose, and I ended up falling asleep in a McDonald's, and waking up, like, with loads of food on the table. And, like, another time... It's always a Christmas do, actually. You know, I was picked up again from from my sister from a Christmas do, and I was just being sick all over a car and all out the window, literally head out, just spewing constantly all the way home. Right, those are the memories, mate. That's when you know you've had a good night, when you wake up the next day, absolutely head banging, can't move. You know that last night was a good one.
This is Beverly Moss, signing off.
My heart can't take it anymore. I just can't take it.
You're sure it was Chrissy?
Yes, she was in her cheerleader outfit. It was the same thing she was in when I saw her with Eddie.
Eddie didn't do this.
Dustin!
You don't know him like I do, Max. I mean, no one was nice to us. No one except Eddie.
I mean, they said the same shit about Ted Bundy. Yeah, he's like a super nice guy, but then he's murdering women on the weekend.
You're saying Eddie is like Ted Bundy.
After I saw Eddie and Chrissy go in the trailer, something else happened. Nothing that weird or anything. I mean, Eddie always drives like a maniac. The look on his face. He was scared, Dustin. I don't know, maybe...
Something else killed her.
I reckon it'd help if somebody seen him run off screaming, like running out of the house like he was panicking.
There's only one person who knows what actually happened.
Eddie.
Eddie, mate, you need to find him.
Anyone else?
No, I can't find Lucas or Nancy and Mike's in California.
Hop is alive. Call 74152 blah blah. No government, please. I like it even less in person.
Whoever wrote this, Hop trusted enough to make him sign it Enzo.
You saw him die, Joyce.
Nobody, no confirmation. There you go. Nobody, no confirmation, mate.
He evaporated.
This could be real.
Yeah, it's a sign. You gotta take it.
Or could be alive.
Suppose there's only one way to find out.
What are you doing?
We're gonna call that number.
See what I mean? Look at that perfect transition. It was so good.
Who you work with? No one.
He actually works with no one. Just works with a bunch of kids. Yeah, that looks mad. Oh, he's cutting off his hair. Yo, do you know what, right? That is an absolutely mad way of torturing someone. I've never seen that before. I've seen it, like, you know, when people lie down and they pour water in the mouth, you know, like, it's called waterboarding. I've seen another torturing method where people actually just lay down again and they pour water on them, but it's a slow drip. So it's like, I don't know, I'm laid down and I can't physically move, and a bit of water will drop on me, like every 10 seconds or something, consistently for days, and that drives people crazy as well. I've never seen, like, this type of torture here, where you put a mask on and start cutting off the oxygen flow to you, mate. It's an interesting way. He looks mad as well with that thing over his head. And do you know what, right? I know that they want to find out who Joyce is and stuff, obviously, because she's in that picture, but he technically don't work for anyone, do they? No big organisation, no, like, you know, not the CIA, FBI, none of this stuff. They just people that know about the Upside Down and that want to try and destroy it, you know, and a bit of a supernatural side. So it is interesting, even if they got the information out of him, it's not going to really help them do anything and progress anywhere. You know, it's not the US government going after them. So again, it's going to be interesting to find out what information they do extract, or, you know, if he does actually not talk at all. You know what I mean? Somebody has wrote that letter. We're going to find out who.
Bitchin', right?
Yeah, bitchin'. Come here a lot.
Yeah. I forgot. You need socks.
Oh, shit.
They sell them at the counter.
Why do you keep lying to Mike?
You're friends with Angela and Stacy, and you come to parties here? I don't think Mike's gonna like that you're lying to him. And he doesn't deserve that. And when he finds out, he's gonna be mad.
I'm so bad at this, I'm like Bambi on ice. Who's that twig with her?
Seems like the snitch has a boyfriend.
See, I've got a problem with that, because she was literally stood right there in front of her, and the teacher said, "Who done this?" And she just stood there and said, "Nobody." And then the teacher turned over and looked at a person stood there facing her and was like, "It was you." She'd never snitched. She heard it. So, I mean, obviously she's going to blame it on her. I hope her powers come back to me, honestly. It does stress me out when when I watch shows and I know somebody's got magic and then they lose it. And I'm like, I'm always just wanting it to be back.
Look, I'm sure it's nothing, all right? Probably the neighbors complaining about the noise or some shit.
You have fun last night?
Well, you gonna arrest me for drinking?
It is against the law, so we could. What about your girlfriend?
Why are you asking about Chris?
When's the last time you talked to her?
After the game?
Did she mention anything about buying drugs for the party?
No, wait. Chrissy doesn't mess with that crap.
What about Eddie Munson?
What does Eddie have to do with all this?
You don't even know if she's dead yet? Well, he probably just found out.
Jason, what happened? Where are you going?
You would be like that though, wouldn't you, if you just found out someone you know has just been murdered?
Can I see this? How many phones do you have? Someone was murdered. What are you doing, man? Setting up base of operations here.
Base of operations?
Cannot wait until Monday.
What, because calling all of Eddie's friends is an emergency?
Correct.
A student died, and the game plan is for you to let me do the talking, and for you to take notes in that little pad there, and for you to follow my lead at all times. I was just going to see Max Mayfield, a friend. She lives in there.
Yeah, we're restricting access to residents only. You're Fred Benson. You killed that kid last year.
You're a murderer is what you are. Everyone here knows it. Murderer. Murderer. Murderer.
Whoa.
Said you were right, kid. You look
That
a little
was...
peaked.
What would have made that actually, like, better, even though it was good, is like, if in the present somehow his scar just did actually start bleeding. Do you know what I mean? And he's both looking at him as to say, "Yo, what's happening there, mate?" Do you know what I mean? Because, like, from our side, we're seeing it and thinking, "Whoa, that is mad. That looks sick." But, like, in the present, it's just like he's zoned out.
I don't know. Part of me expected her to be on that plane. Or something. Just like, hey, surprise! And also, I felt this intense relief. She wasn't there. If I show you something, you wouldn't tell anyone, right?
Who would I tell? You're my only friend, Jonathan.
It's an acceptance letter to Lenora community.
That's where I'm going. Man, you are so dead.
What was I supposed to do?
Not lie.
Not lie?
Yeah.
Because if I told her the truth, then she'd just throw her dreams out the window to come out here and be with me.
But what is your approach here, man? To just slow motion break up with Nancy?
Yes.
No, man.
I know. I don't know what to do.
Well, I'm treated alike. That's what you gotta do. Got me stressed out. It's not even my girlfriend.
You got to admit, yeah, you got respect that the guy is willing to put her needs. Well, he thinks that that's what she wants. He don't want her to stop her life, like, for him. The guy's punching anyway, isn't her, mate? She's way above his league.
Yeah. Where have you been hiding this handsome thing?
It's really cool to finally meet some of Jane's friends.
Let's skate, shall we? I wanted to finish this with
Oh, hold on to that. She's lying to you, Mike. Bullshit. No, listen to me. She's having problems here. What kind of problems?
This next song is dedicated to Jane, the local snitch.
No food or drinks on the ring.
I just want it to happen at some point I want it to happen where she's getting picked on as well, to be fair. And I hate people who get picked on. Trust me, I said it last episode, I said it again. If you're a bully in real life, evaluate your own entire life, mate. Your full life, get it sorted out, mate. You need to go and seek help. If you get pleasure from someone else's pain, then you're just a sad person. It actually stresses me out. I don't get it. I don't understand that any of that's funny. Like the guy stood there holding the camera, literally absolutely loving his life, and it's just not funny at all. I just don't understand it. But what I wanted to happen is her to hold her ears and then scream, and then just like a big boom, mate, sonic thing, just go and take everybody out. But I wanted to, I mean, obviously we've seen in the flashback kind of last episode, like 11 kind of smoking everybody off, you know, all the little kids kind of thing in the flashback. I want that to happen in the present. I wanted to go absolutely crazy and just murder everyone, literally. Like, not in real life, I won't go around murdering people, but it's a show with magic, and we see demons and monsters and deaths, and I wanted to just go mad, mate. Everyone that's picking and laughing at her, take them out, hell, go on.
Voila, okay, you are now calling from Durham, North Carolina.
Decent.
This is Enzo.
Hello, Enzo. This is Joyce.
$40,000.
40k?
Have it in Hopper's trust. You give Yuri money, Yuri gets me money, I give him your friend.
We need to know that he's alive. Hey! Мне позвонить нужно. Сколько можно...
Friend is stuck. Give me money, I make him unstuck. 40,000.
That's well interesting, that, mate. So he's still captured. This guy's kind of insinuating he's going to break him out.
He was strong American. Отправьте его на Камчатку. Этот человек не заслужил покойной смерти. Вот я и отправил его в ад.
Eddie Munson, the cops, they say Chrissy went to him to buy drugs.
Drugs? No.
That's what I said. Chrissy would never touch this shit.
Empire isn't a cult. It's just a D&D club. It's my sister. Yeah, she's like a total nerd. She plays a lot sometimes.
And I'm sure your sister isn't killing people. You know, he got lost. He thought Chrissy was just a part of his sick game. Meaning he's gonna kill again. She wants to go out there. She wants to do something about it, wouldn't she? Yeah! Then let's go on some freak! Yeah! For Chrissy! Yeah!
Do you know what, right? Do you believe that, you know, he was kind of saying that video games mess with people's minds, i.e. like he was saying, he's caught up in the Dungeons and Dragons and he thinks that, like, his fantasies kind of come reality and he's going around killing people. But people say that a lot about, like, violent games. Oh, you don't play Call of Duty, don't play Grand Theft Auto, you can't let... No, they're 18-year-old games, and you can't let like 15-year-olds play it because you drive down the streets and run people over and you shoot them and stab them and stuff. But like in my personal opinion, a video game, no matter how violent it is, has no impact on what somebody understands as acceptable in reality. Like, there's no way, shape or form that me or anyone that I've ever known has played a Grand Theft Auto and got in the car and drove around and killed everyone on the street and just had a good time in a video game and then come to the present and thought, oh, I'll tell you what, mate, I'll go outside and I'll go and do that in real life. It just doesn't relate. Now, the only thing that it would do is people who actually do have, you know, mental traumas, you know, people who are like crazy and they have no like line, they have no boundary, they don't understand what's real and fake and what's acceptable and what's not. But I personally, in my opinion, don't think video games have any way, shape or form an impact on how somebody views society in real life.
Apparently Eddie gets his drugs from some guy named Reefer Rick, and sometimes Eddie crashes there.
That sounds promising.
Well, what about a last name?
We don't know that either.
But the cops know the last name. I guarantee you he's been busted at some point.
You think Eddie's guilty, don't you?
Whoa, I believe in innocent until proven guilty, all that
I do.
constitutional shit.
What's she thinking?
What are you doing?
Maybe we don't need a last name. 12 Ricks already have accounts here, so let's narrow it.
Lipton?
Spelled like the T, 2121 Holland Road.
That's out by Lover's Lake.
Middle of nowhere.
It's a perfect place to hide.
I'm telling you, we've talked to everyone.
Nope, not everyone. Oh, you want to tell us everything?
Nancy, come on, let's get out of here.
But he's just the cutest little witness.
He's a prime person that you ought to kind of speak to be honest. It was his house.
The neighbors.
Like to gossip, and I'm not interested in gossiping no more.
Let me level with you, Mr. Munson. The paper that I write for is small.
As far as I can tell, you all have it figured out already. My nephew's a freak.
Let me tell your side of the story.
You can't be one-sided. You have to be open in news reporting. That's the thing, mate. In real life, people are so biased, you know. A news reporter will write what they want people to hear. They will write their story, its agendas. Do you know what I mean? Now, the best type of stories is just an open blank slate. You don't judge him. You don't, like, point the finger. Like he was saying in the store, mate, you're innocent until proven guilty. That is a fact, you know. Somebody can be arrested in suspicion of murder because they may have matched a description in the area. Has, you know, they might have been wearing the same clothes as they walk by. Somebody's died and they've been arrested. Now, once that name gets publicly, you know, like outed, then people are always going to associate him with that, whether they get proved guilty or not. You know, people will already make their mind up, and it's whether how the story is like broken. To say, like, the public will obviously make people's mind up. So like, you need to take a level-headed approach. And you need to have both sides. And you need to just leave it open for people to make their own opinion until a fact comes in that they did do the murder. So it's good that she's doing that. This guy's hearing it, mate.
No matter what anyone said, this wasn't Eddie.
Think you know who might have done this?
You ever hear the name Victor Creel? Killed his whole family. Kids and wife took their eyes. They locked him away in Penhurst Asylum.
Murderer.
You need to hear what the public woman said. Yeah.
So he's outside.
You need to decode it.
Someone's talking. She's mad at Enzo. Calls him a musa. Translates to trash or garbage.
She's a guard.
Or guard.
Welcome to your new home.
Right, okay. So he's the guard, and obviously he's offered a deal to get him out, yeah.
But you knew that she was having trouble for like a year. You didn't tell me. I didn't know she was lying to you. Which is why you decided to be a douche to her all day? I've been a total third wheel all day. It's been miserable. You've called maybe a couple times. Meanwhile, Elle has like a book of letters from you. That's because she's my girlfriend. Why am I the bad guy? Just find her.
See, right, this wheel here is saying that he's third wheeling. Clearly he's third wheeling, you know. It's the first day that Mike's here. Obviously, Elle's gonna want to spend the day with him. He's got to want to spend the day with his girlfriend. Not too fussed about him knocking around in the background third wheeling. Now, that's no offence to you, Will, but that's just a fact. And second of all, yeah, you're saying that why didn't he communicate more? But did you communicate? You know what I mean? Like, you only sent a bunch of letters, but how many did you send? You know, it's a two-way street. You can't just expect him to be the one to instigate all the conversations, and then you're just sat there like, where's my letters? It's like, well, where's his? You know what I mean? Like, two sides to every conversation, every story.
Angela! Did we embarrass you in front of your boyfriend? You'll just have to cry to your daddy instead. Oh, wait.
How are people like this? Fucking hate people like this, honestly. They actually piss me off every time I see them. Yeah, it's just hit her over the head, mate. No powers, no problem. Yes, Al. Love to see it.
What have you done?
Hey, that was good. My girlfriend, mate. I'll be going to taking a restaurant, buying a nice food, get flowers, mate. Standing up for yourself, mate. Going after the bullies.
I guess it's not here.
Eddie!
Great.
It's Dustin!
What are you doing? What are you doing?
He might be in here.
Steve will get him with his oar.
I know you think you're being funny, Henderson, but considering the fact that everyone in this room has nearly died about 100 times, personally, I don't find it funny in the...
Oh, there was someone there.
He's cool.
Man, what are you doing here?
We're looking for you. We're on your side.
I want to know what happened.
You won't believe me.
Trust me, they will, mate.
Try us.
My friend from the car earlier, I can't find him.
What do you mean you can't find him?
He was there and then he was just gone. And...
Oh, he's still running, so nothing's happened to him yet, like. Yo.
Lifted up into the air, and she just like hung there. Her bones started to snap. They ran away.
Don't blame you, to be honest.
I'm about to tell you might be a little difficult to take. There's another world hidden beneath Hawkins. Sometimes it bleeds into ours.
Whoa.
I thought they were gone, but they've come back before.
This looks good, mate. I said it last episode, it looks really good.
That night, did you see anything?
Oh man, there was nothing you could see.
Wonder if anyone else can hear the grandfather clock, but only the people getting taken.
It was like she was in a trance or something.
Happened to this guy as well.
VECNA'S curse.
That's it, It is mad.
Who's Vecna?
A spellcaster.
Oh, it's actually here, mate. Whoa, I've got to say, mate, the transitions this episode, I've acknowledged it a few times, have been so sick, mate. How good was that then? That bat flew across, it was like episode over. Do you know what I mean? He walked back before and fell in that hole, and boom, mate, obviously that transitioned as well. I've had a couple as well. The sky went up and it come, know what I mean? It come like down, and the boot of the car was getting short. It went well good. Thought the editing has been sick on this show, honestly, it really has. No, I mean, it's really interesting. Obviously, the episode's called VECNA'S Curse, and they're saying that it's the powerful wizard from the D&D, you know what I mean? Like, we had it kind of last episode when he was playing the game, and obviously they dropped him in at the thing, and they've just shown it there. That is kind of the monster, if you would call it a monster, that's obviously here causing havoc. Now, we've had a pretty good episode, to be honest. I've actually enjoyed it. I thought, like, this was better than the first, and that's not saying that the first was not good. I feel like it is, like I said, hopefully getting better, just going up like that. Thought it was a good reintroduction, then a good storytelling here, and it's fascinating to see, because obviously everybody's looking for Ed there, but they're going to find this guy now. He's dead onto the road. They're going to obviously know that he's got no way, shape or form, any correlation, connection or anything towards Ed, so then hopefully it takes the suspicion away. But how can you even explain it? It seems like the guy's obviously messing with them, like mind control from absolutely mooches away. Do you know what I mean? He was in the middle of the road and this guy was like in a house somewhere. But it's going to be interesting to see if he can go from being his like crazy deformic self, so to speak, you know, because he does look like mangled, and if he can take the presence of, say, like a human and go into the school and attack people like that, you know, that'll be really interesting to see. But it's interesting that Dustin and obviously Max and that have found him, you know. Funny how two school kids can use a bit of knowledge and you know, track people down more and quicker and faster than the police, you know. We also had obviously the story between 11 and her getting bullied as well, and Mike seeing it. She's gonna attack her, you know, in front of everybody. You know what? I'm all for that. I loved it, mate. You know, she's getting. I'm all for standing up to bullies. They're laughing at her constantly. Last episode, ruining a project. She took the mick out of her hair, took the piss out of her dad. She's retaliated. Fair play, mate. Literally, that's what I expect everybody to do. So, again, really interesting, and I'm excited to see, obviously, what episode 3 brings. So that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy it. Like I said in the introduction, you can watch the full episodes for free. Just check the link in the description, put the password in, and jobs are good. And that is for every single one of the videos that we do release here on YouTube. They're all free. You can go and enjoy it in its entirety. So, I mean, the episode was interesting because, obviously, we've got Mike here coming to visit 11. Obviously, it's spring break now. And what's interesting is, obviously, he brought some flowers, but when you look at the note that he put on it, it's just said 2L from Mike or 2L love Mike or something. It had no kisses. It wasn't like affectionate or anything. She kind of looked at it as well. I don't know if she was like a little bit disappointed or whatnot. I don't know. But obviously, she's been lying to him with the letters, saying that she's really popular. She's got loads of friends. She's going to parties and stuff. They've gone to the roller rink while she's there. She's seeing the people that she's been telling that Mike that she's friends with, and obviously they've heard that. They kind of well, they're calling her a snitch, obviously, from last episode, even though she never snitched as well. She said no one done it, she tripped, but they took it that way. They took her into the middle of the rink, they put the lighting and the music on, they've come in, they've recorded her, they've like all been laughing at her, calling the snitch, threw milkshake at her. She's obviously like devastated. Mike's seen it. He's obviously arguing with Will, saying that this has been going on, you know, like for a year and you've never said anything. And he's like, well, you don't really write to me. He's like, well, do you write to me? Do you know what I mean? He's saying, I've been acting like a third wheel all day. You've come, you kind of ignored me, not been listening to anything that I've been saying. Which in that aspect, I totally get, you know, like Mike's come to see 11. Yeah, obviously Will's his friend, but he's not seen her for ages. And why does he want to spend his first day like chilling with him when his girlfriend's right there? So I get that, but do you know what's interesting? Like, obviously, like I said, they're picking on Elle and they're laughing at her, but she's decided to retaliate. She's still not got her powers, but sack it, mate. She's got the ice skating boot or whatever you want to call it, rollerblade gone over, bang, bang, mate. Smacked her in her head, bleeding. You know, she's shown that she's not no pushover. She won't take no crap. That's what I like to see. If I was Mike, I'd go be rewarding her. I'd be going out celebrating it because obviously she's standing up for herself. And, you know, we got an interesting bit about Jim. Joyce has got a message there from somebody. Well, we got the message last episode, but she's rang the phone number. He's answered it. He said, give me 40k, I'll bring him to you. She's saying, well, I want proof of life. He said, I can't do that. You know, you have to trust me. Now, obviously, in that situation, what do? You know, it depends how much you actually love them, innit? You know, you're willing to put the 40k on the line to get somebody back that you love, or you just think it's a hoax. Well, what's really interesting, obviously we got like the backstory. We heard somebody shouting at the guard, and they've obviously deciphered that that's what he is, kind of a guard. And then we got the story of that he's been captured and tortured. He didn't really speak. He didn't confess who Joyce was. They thought, you know what, tell you what, this guy's pretty strong actually. Instead of killing him, going to send him to hell. Kind of train him up to be like a Russian soldier, you know, or whatever. It looked like it anyway. Been thrown in prison there, and the guy is the guard of his cell, and he's probably got to deal with him. You know, if you get this message out there, you know, I'll give you the money. And he said, mate, you send me the money, got 2 days, you meet me at this place. We'll do it. I'll get him out. He'll be safe. So again, very exciting. I like their little side story going on, to be honest. It's really, really good. And then we didn't really see much of Lucas this episode, but we had Max, and we had obviously Dustin working together to try and find Eddie. You know, he's obviously been on the run. The police are looking for him, but they're kind of like, you know, they've seen all this crazy supernatural side of the world, the upside down, and they know all the magic and all this crazy stuff that's going on, and they've gone and kind of given him the benefit of the doubt, listen to him, he's told the story, and obviously they're saying they're on his side. We've also just seen that Fred as well has absolutely been murdered on the road at the end. We had an interesting scene with him in the car, wasn't it, mate? They pulled up, they're speaking to the copper. He was stood there, his face all changed. He was like, murderer, his scar opened up, it was bleeding. It was madness, mate. And we heard the grandfather clock as well, and he's followed it. He's gone into the woods, and they're saying murderer, murderer again. All these like bodies that stood there. So really fascinating, really excited. Can't wait for the next episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. If you did, please smash the like, it really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you do. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.